Oh boy, the Star Wars fandom is actually united on something? You know Force must have hit the fan. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and we're here to talk about Star Wars Jedi Survivor, a game that, while your boy loves the original, will not be purchasing, at least not for a long while, because we're going to take a look at a couple tweets about the state that the game is in now that it has officially released. So right here from ACG reviewer Game Lover, we have PSA. As it stands, all platforms have massive performance and bug issues, with crashing even occurring occasionally on the consoles for Jedi Survivor. This impacts the story, gameplay, function, audio, and everything. And look, if it's even crashing on the consoles, that's saying a lot. Like, yeah, I saw on Twitter a couple days ago, there were some console fanboys that were absolutely loving that this game wasn't doing so well on the PC as it was being reported. Now, I won't lie, this ain't my area of expertise. It's my buddy Cult Classic Cage. She is far more versed on this sort of thing than I am. That being said, I'm a massive Star Wars fan as a whole. The real Star Wars, not that Disney crap. So I felt like I had to cover this. But remember that name. We'll get back to Cult Classic Cage here in a bit. Cassie had a brilliant take on this, and I'm going to add to it a little bit more. But for now, let's continue going through this. This is not just a PC thing. Patches are incoming. Yes, patches are indeed always incoming. That's how patches work. And that's good, because this game is as close to not working as I've seen in a title and review period since Days Gone. I don't remember when Days Gone came out in relation to Fallout 76, but based on what I'm hearing, this is a Fallout 76 sort of situation about how poorly the debut was going. So if Days Gone was after, fair enough, but if it was beforehand, don't forget about the garbage release that was. At this time, the actual game itself is severely impacted across all platforms by technical problems and impacts everything from story beats to voiceovers. More later. But this is a thread. There's more to it. I could say the game is fun, but, however, the caveat is so massive, the issue's so noticeable that the fun factor is massively diminished, to the point where, if this is the home experience, the entire game is effectively hurt by it in a noticeable way. Again, that's not me saying it's bad, but it is this or that. I don't have time to dandy around. It's just plainly, at the time, not acceptable. Now, it's funny he says that. It's not acceptable, because this is something I've been saying about gaming for a long time. And before I get into what I mean by that, I'm going to show you guys what my girl Cass had to say. Cassie Cage says companies are emboldened to release broken shit and the community bends over with their $70 in hand, no lube. But hey, games should go up in price despite gaming being the worst state it's ever been. Now I'm gonna push back on that a little. I don't know about the worst state it's ever been. I mean, there was the video game crash of the 80s back in the Atari days, but other than that, yeah, nope, she's right. Worst that it's ever been. She's responding to VGC, despite a delay for polishing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, looks set to be released with a significant number of issues. EA says it's planning to fix bugs and performance issues with a series of patches in the weeks ahead. Yeah, weeks. So if you got this game day one, like a fool, then you're gonna have to wait weeks for a potentially working game. And here's the thing. Well, I do want to throw some shade at EA, and of course throw major shade at Disney Star Wars, because, well, frankly, it's just always fun to do so. I want to throw the most shade at the gamers, the yous, the me's, all of us, not me, I mean, I'm pretty perfect, but the rest of you guys that actually buy these sort of games day one. This has been an ongoing trend in gaming for literal years now. You're so excited by the $120 deluxe editions. You want all the extra special goodies that come with it. And then you buy the game, or you get it day one. Even if you didn't pre-order it, you get it day one, and it's broken. That has proven to companies that they can just release a game on day one broken, because they're gonna make money anyway. Why should they work hard? And why should they delay games multiple times? Why should they work hard to make sure it's fixed out the gate if they're just gonna buy it anyway? If you build it, they will come. Well, apparently it doesn't have to be built well, at least according to these game developers. You don't have to build it well. The gamers will still come buy it day one. There is no incentive for them to do any better. So yeah, you're bending over. Cassie's entirely correct. $70 in hand, no lube. Look, Tears of the Kingdom, that's coming out. It's gonna be $70. $70 for a Switch game. And here I am throwing a fit about day one releases, and plenty of people are gonna buy that on day one. I might even buy it on day one. That being said, I feel like Nintendo is an outlier. They almost always put out quality. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet notwithstanding, but that's more of a Game Freak issue. Point is, give me another company besides Nintendo that actually puts out good day one games. Capcom's been doing pretty good as of late, but even they had significant issues in the past. Yeah, this is the norm, and us gamers have let that become the norm because we keep buying this crap. We get so excited, ooh, it's Christmas every Friday when some brand new AAA game comes out, that you are actually actively making gaming worse, not just for you, but for everyone, because at the end of the day, we're just sheep. The customers, it's not like EA or Activision or any of these other companies are out there being like, oh, we want to do something nice for the community, so we're gonna make a good, fun game that they love. No, it's a business. They're gonna make money. That's the entire goal. Make money. That way they can make more products to make more money. The cycle continues. Video games are the biggest entertainment industry in the world. They've surpassed film and TV. So yeah, if they realize they can make money with less effort, why wouldn't they do that? It just actually makes perfect sense from a business standpoint. Conversely though, we got the opposite problem here. Metacritic will improve moderation after Horizon review bombing. The fandom-owned aggregator is aware of the abusive and disrespectful Burning Shores reviews, so it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because when the fans do get feedback, when the fans do say we don't want XYZ, well, they're not going to listen anyway, or at least the people that put out the review scores, the aggregate, they're not going to listen. Look, I get it. People don't like review bombing, and frankly, review bombing not near as big of a problem as the internet, especially sites like this, likes to claim it is, especially when positive review bombing exists. Another thing that both me and Cult Classic Cage have talked about at length. Reviewers review bomb. And what I mean professional critics. They go out there and give every brand new AAA game under the sun glowing reviews, even if it's not true. They are afraid to give any game that has any sort of diversity or agenda or anything that isn't a AAA game that's got some sort of ideological movement behind it. They're afraid to give it bad scores, even if it is actually a bad game. So here it's left to us, the actual gamers, the people who pay money for the product, to leave a review. So when something like The Burning Shores gets a trailer, and it has a bunch of crap in it that the gamers don't want, you know, the paying customer, yeah, first, should they be going in and review bombing, being like, hey, it's a 0 when they haven't played it? No, not necessarily, but I do think it's actually good for gamers and more importantly, good for companies, because that way the company can look and be like, man, we're getting a lot of backlash over what we're doing here. Maybe we should take a step back and reevaluate. It's not like it's a bunch of angry incel gamers just immediately giving zeros. It only happens in cases where something they're passionate about is being changed for reasons that, frankly, aren't meeting the expectations of the player. Again, the people spending the money, whether it's a $70 game, a $30 DLC, whatever. You don't see people complaining about Cammy in Street Fighter 6 wearing more clothes. Like, yeah, she's definitely a bit more covered up than she was in her previous Street Fighter appearances. But everyone's loving the way she looks, they're loving the way she plays. It's not just a bunch of angry dudes on the internet that want to sex up female video game characters. But here we got Metacritic changing moderation because of review bombing. Basically because people, the paying customers, telling you we don't want or like what you're doing with this product that we used to enjoy. Metacritic will introduce stricter moderation tools soon. Metacritic noticed the user reviews and now plans to do something about it. So you plan to strip the people of their voices, even if it is a bunch of dudes who don't like the fact that Aloy is kissing a chick. Oh well, are they not allowed to have that opinion and share that opinion? I get it, it's your own website, which means it's your own business, you can operate it how you want. That being said, if you're a website that's going to operate under the assumption that people are going to be coming there to give their opinions on a product, well, then you should probably let those opinions stand, even if it includes some stuff you're not a fan of. Metacritic is aware of the abusive and disrespectful reviews of Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, and we have a moderation system in place to track violations of our terms of use. A representative of fandom, which owns Metacritic, told Eurogamer, our team reviews each and every report of abuse, including but not limited to racist, sexist, homophobic insults to other users, etc. Alright, so here's my issue. What is homophobic or what is sexist? To me, those are things that can be interpreted. If you've got someone on one side of the computer who's reviewing this and they see, hey, I don't like to see Aloy kissing a girl because, you know, gays are the devil and they're all going to hell. Alright, yeah, that's a bit homophobic. But if someone else says, I don't like the idea that Aloy is able to romance this individual and you guys are calling it true love when that's not how true love works. You know, you don't just meet someone and immediately fall in love. Like, that's not homophobic. That's more questioning decisions, writing, things like that. They could hypothetically be saying the same thing if it was straight romance. So is that going to happen? I don't know. But the point is, how many of you individuals know that there's an inherent bias on these sorts of websites? I mean, we're getting this from Kotaku, of all places. I mean, we already know what a joke Kotaku is. We saw that they were blacklisted by Nintendo. I wish they'd be blacklisted by a bunch of other companies as well, because then we wouldn't get garbage articles like this. You can't moderate the internet. At least you can't moderate people's freedom of speech. They'll just find another place to go to say it. Oh, what? You can't leave your review on Metacritic anymore? Alright, so they go to Steam or Twitter or any of these other various outlets where they can still have their voice heard. And people already don't take things like Kotaku and Metacritic all that seriously. I know firsthand people don't take Metacritic very seriously when I used them as a source in the Resident Evil review bombing video, and I got trounced in my comments section for it. So at the end of the day, what's it even matter if they're going to introduce stricter moderation? You're not doing yourself any favors, you're just coming off looking like fools. At the end of the day, gaming is in an incredibly annoying place right now, and it's equal fault of the consumer and the people creating the project, as well as the intermediary that is gaming journalists, gaming media, the whole nine. Game developers aren't putting out good quality finished games the day they're supposed to release, and even when they do push them back, which I'm actually a fan of, I'm a-okay with delaying a game to get it done properly, but even when they do delay it, if it's still not ready, then delay it again. Don't put it out still with a bunch of bugs that need fixed. So yeah, that's definitely on the side of those creating the games. But the problem also lies, like I've been saying in this video, with the people that are idiots buying games that have objectively been shown to be broken before they even release. I mean, yeah, of course you only got yourself to blame when you know that's the case, but you're doing it anyway. Or if you don't know the case, well, hey, that's on you for not doing enough research. You're still contributing to the problem thanks to your own ignorance. And then, of course, there's gaming journalists in the middle that want to do everything to push some sort of propaganda narrative. They don't really want to talk about gaming. Games journalists are people that wanted to work for the New York Times doing politics, but weren't talented enough to do it because they can't write an article without swearing. And that's really what it is. People that have no talent for writing politics, but they know they can get their foot in the door through doing game journalists even though they ain't gamers. Because like I said, gaming is the biggest entertainment medium in the world. It is a billion-dollar industry. So of course they think that they can have something to add to the zeitgeist that's insightful, and of course it has to have some sort of deep meaning, and it's all about the internalized misogyny and yada yada yada. Who cares? At the end of the day, you are to blame, but let's also not forget about these crappy big corporations. And that being said, I need to know, were you dumb enough to buy Jedi Survivor Day 1? And if you are one of those people that bought it, maybe you're not a moron. Let me know in the comments below if it's actually working. Or you can let me know on Twitter, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, not just about video games, but about movies, anime, card games like Magic the Gathering, you name it. It's all here in the nerdosphere. We've gotten above that 800 subscriber hump. In fact, we're almost at 850, which means we're that much closer to 1,000. Thank you so much. I can't believe we've made it this far. We can only do it because of you. So I appreciate it. I truly do. From the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of Goku's aura here, I very much appreciate it. Let's get that number even higher. I'd love to get to 1,000 before the end of May. And that being said, it's all here in the nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.